residents of Meepletown, today we are looking at Fast Sloths, where we are going to be racing across the board by riding on top of other animals that are much faster than us because we are sloths. So let's get to the table and check out Fast Sloths.
All right, Meepletown, we have Fast Sloth set up, and we are some lazy sloths. We're so lazy that we don't want to go anywhere. We're just going to ride on the backs of other animals.
Maybe it's not laziness. Maybe it's just that they can't move fast.
That you can go faster whenever you're doing that?
I mean, it's working smarter, not harder, maybe.
I guess so. Maybe we should all
aspire to be sloths.
Yep. So in this game, we're going to be drawing cards.
You guys. Sloth.
I get it. I understand.
Goonies.
I understand.
All right.
We're going to be riding on the backs of these animals by drawing cards, and we have one leaf to start off because that's where we chose. I chose to place my sloth up here. Dean chose to place his sloth down there, and we're collecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more, a total of 8. Now there are 8 more leaves on the board, a total of 9. So we have to pick up every single one but one. Whoever does it the fastest, the most efficiently, wins the game. So it is a race game. Pick up and deliver. Goodness or
That's
not.
right.
Guess you'll find out.
We'll see.
All right, so Dean goes... No, I go first because you picked first.
Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
I will say before I draw cards that there are setups for first-time players. There's also setups if you want to have kind of their predefined setups of these creatures here, these animals. But also, we didn't do it, but it's way more fun to play where you're actually placing them yourselves, don't you think?
Not for your first game, but yes.
Not for your first game, but like so. That's half the battle.
Yeah, we've already played this
from?
game. That's G.I. Joe. Knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle. Mm-hmm. Okay, speaking of knowing is half the battle, I am going to grab 3 cards. Now I have to pick the top card of 3 different stacks. And that's actually indicated here on my player board. You're actually going to pick less cards as the game progresses. All right, so help the runaway winner, potentially, right?
Oh.
I'm going to pick up this orangutan here. I'm going to pick up a little crocodile, alligator, whatever. And I'm going to pick up a little rabbit.
A mall walker up there?
Now, these get progressively more powerful as you get into the decks. I'm going to go ahead now. That's my first thing I do. The second thing I do is I can play one of these, as many as I want of one type of animal to get the animals to move. And I'm actually going to go ahead and play 1, 2, 3, the orangutan. Now with the So you get picked up for free at a spot of it that an animal is in the hex or an adjacent one. So I'm going to get picked up here by this orangutan. Now, one thing interesting is that all these animals have different powers, different abilities. And so the orangutans is I can move through forests and through this like kind of mountainish sort of, it's not a mountain, I don't know what that is, hilly region, I don't know. I can move 2 spaces, but also I can give up 2 movement points, which is what I have, 2 movement points to be thrown 3 spaces away. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be thrown 1, 2, 3 spaces away, and I'm going to end right there. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay.
That's a good start.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe. We'll see.
Actually, I'm just going to be thrown there. I know,
Too late. You're going to take your fingers off.
All right, so I'm going to take this card and put it on the bottom. Ooh, it doesn't go on the bottom of the donkey pile.
No.
Easy there, John. But I will say that you do also look at the third piece to it is making sure you're at your hand limit, which right now is 7. Have no problem.
All right. Over to me. I will take 3 cards as well, as indicated by my board. I'm right next to an orangutan, so I will definitely take one of those and make the sound effect of the animal that I'm picking up. Is that part of the rules?
Are you going to do it?
No, I'm not.
You're just going to talk about it?
Ooh, I don't know what an orangutan sounds like.
Well.
Or is it like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. I'm also over here by a rabbit.
Oof.
This
review is going downhill. You're in a kind of interesting mood today.
It's a little.
You're kind of acting
cheeky,
more like
cheeky mood.
Like I might.
That's right.
The jokes aren't quite there. But they're getting there.
I'm working on it. Oh, the other one's tough because I don't really have anything else that's near me. We don't have any dolphins in the game. That was left over from our last game.
We have a rogue dolphin.
I will take a I want another orangutan, but I can't do that. I think I'm going to take a...
you can ask me and I could pass it.
I'll take a donkey. Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that. I'll take a donkey and kind of set
I thought that you
up.
picked up the crocodile. I was like, man, you're really losing it.
Well, I'd mentioned the crocodile, so I will...
You going to play something?
Oh, I didn't make the last one. That's the last time I'm going to do this because it's out of control now. All right. I'm not going to play anything. I would like to be able to have him throw me over here. However, it costs 2 to 33 spaces. Now, I can move... Actually... I can move 2, 1, 2, and then he could fall there. So I guess I will do that. I'm going to play that orangutan.
Okay.
It's a lot of me talking and not doing anything. So I'll go 1, 2, and then he'll set me down in the space over here.
So they have to set you down at the end, so he can't like dominate and have that, and they can set you in the space that they're in or an adjacent space. That's if you can actually end in one of those spaces, which it tells you on your board. So he couldn't have left him. There's a gnat flying around this room.
That's right. I'm gonna.
He couldn't have left him on the mountains, is what I was going to say.
I'm going to change my mind, actually.
Wow.
I'm going to have him set right there, okay? He's going to stay in that same spot. It didn't really matter because he'd be able to pick him back up, but...
If it didn't matter, then why are you talking about it?
You're right about that.
All right, so I'm going to pick up a little crocodile. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a rabbit. And I'm going to pick up an orangutan. All right, and then I'm going to play my crocodiles. Now, as many cards as I want of the same animal. Now, what these do is, first of all, you get an extra movement point. So I actually have 5 movement points now for this crocodile. They can go into these spots, but they have to be adjacent to the water. So it's basically along the water's edge for the most part. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is get picked up. Then I'm going to go 1, 2. Now, if you're still on an animal's back, you can continue your movement while you're snagging a leaf there. That's pretty nice, huh?
Pretty nice.
Just a little drive-through meal. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I could have done it more efficiently, but it doesn't really matter. Then I'm just going to drop myself off. It doesn't matter. Yep. Maybe it does. Right there, and then my hand limit is 7, so I'm good to go.
All right, I didn't quite think through how I was going to do this, but I know it. I guess I could ask you again. I'm going to take an orangutan. If you would hand me a rabbit card. There we go. I'll take another one of those. And I think I will take, what we got over there? Not a lot, huh? I think I will take a crocodile. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that other one, but I'll figure it out as I go. All right, now I'm going to play my rabbit card, which is going to pick me up. It's going to stay here and just drop right over there.
Wow, that was inefficient.
You're right about that, John. It definitely was. And I did not like that move, but it's difficult to take those like 2 spots. I could have him throw over there, but I need him.
That's right.
So I'll discard this down to the bottom. Disc it. I did not. Yeah, you're right. I did not like that. Now I could still continue on with my movement. No, because I had to get off him to get on there, so I cannot do that. So
the rabbit doesn't go on.
He doesn't go there. Yeah, that's why it made it a little more difficult. Now,
it could be a she-rabbit, by the way.
Yep.
Just want to say.
It could be.
You never know.
I don't know what I said, so...
Do you know how fast rabbits can reproduce?
All right, I'm done with my turn. I can discard down to 7, and I only have 4, so I'm good to go.
Factoid, every 30 days.
Okay, all right.
All right, so I am going to pick up a... Man, should I do that? I'm trying to think this through. Yes, so I'm going to pick up another orangutan. Now that I'm here, I pick up 3 cards and then discard 1 from my hand. So I'm going to pick up orangutan. I am going to pick up a crocodile. And I'm going to pick up... And you have to pick up 3, so you can't just ignore 1.
You're not supposed to look through the cards, but I made a mistake.
You're not.
No, what happened was there was a 3 in the wrong spot. I should have picked up a 2 and not a 3. We're not down at the 3s yet, so there we go.
They are in order. And then when you place them back under, you have to place them lowest to highest.
Yeah.
Low at the bottom, high at the top. All right, and then my last one, again, you have to pick 1. So you may say, well, I don't just pick up 2. Well, you have to, because it could benefit Dean, actually, because it could make it even. Could open up a higher number. It didn't in this case, but I'm going to go ahead and just discard that. All right, Meepletown, we had a little snafu, I believe.
We figured it out.
We had the rabbits in the incorrect order. So we were grabbing a few rabbit cards that are a little higher value. So if you notice us doing that and then notice, well, why does he have 2 2s in his hand? And that's exactly why.
We're fixing John's cheats.
You're the one who did it. Okay,
That might be right.
I don't know if that's true or not.
That might be right.
All right, so I'm going to play my 2 rabbit cards. Now, the bonus with them is that you get to go 2 more spaces. Of course, they can only go on the little grasslands area. So I'm going to go on here and go 1, 2, 3. 4. I have 6 movement points. 5, and then I'm just gonna go here. Whoops, already picked it up. Sorry. That was from the snafu. Now let's just go backwards. All right, and then I'm gonna get this and place it onto my board.
All right.
There you go.
All right, we're caught up now, right? I think we're good.
We are.
All right. I am going to take an orangutan. Still drawing 3, but now I have to discard 1. Draw an orangutan. I will draw a rabbit.
You place this on the bottom of the pile when you get the chance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to draw a rabbit. And then the last one I'll draw is an eagle. I don't know what I'm going to discard, though. I think I'm going to discard that crocodile. Crocodile. All right, and I will
Crocodile Dundee.
do the same inefficient move I did last time. That's going to be to play this 2 rabbit to basically just jump right over into this spot right here to set myself up to be used by that orangutan in just a minute.
That's, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do the same thing. How many did you want to do before we get into the review?
We'll do a couple more until I can maybe catch up.
So I'm only drawing 2. I'm drawing 3 cards again. So 1. I really want 2 rabbits right now, but I can't. But I'll go ahead and grab a crocodile for 2. And then I'll grab this for 3 and just put it on the bottom of the pile because I have to discard 1. I'm going to do what Dean just did. It seems really inefficient, but I have to. Because the reason is because the orangutans can't go onto the grasslands area, or that would have been sweet. So get picked up, and I can move it.
Right.
I'm not going to. I'm going to move it right here. And then I'm going to be placed right down there. Look at that. Look at that.
Now, one thing I considered that
We're together.
You could have done, because the rabbits are so fast, if you have enough rabbit cards, they could have taken you around here, pretty quickly too.
They could.
But the orangutans are pretty...
I've got some orangutan cards, so I didn't...
Yeah.
I thought about it.
All right, now I will take that orangutan. I will take another rabbit. That's not really going to help me out. Yeah, actually it kind of will for the future over here. And then I will take a... I'll take an eagle just because I'm going to try to get to some of those better eagle cards. I'm sorry?
You start here?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
All I've done is
what
done that. Yeah, I know. It's not super efficient.
I think we should finish this game.
It might take a few hours before I can do anything.
I mean, I think I can get a win in my back
There we
pocket.
go. I'm discarding that one. I'm going to now use the orangutans because I got a bunch of orangutans. I'm going to need a bunch of them as well. So I will take I think I need both of these if I counted this right. I'll play 2 of those that are worth 3 to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because they can throw 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And
That's a good
then
move.
I immediately get that one.
See, that stinks for me a little because now I'm going to be fine because I can get a 4 orangutan, but he moved it, which is what he should have done.
Yeah, what I consider doing is moving it even farther to mess you up even more. Because what I should have done is played my extra 2 and then been able to move it up here and then thrown them. But I did not, so that is what it is.
Okay, so if I do that, crocodile. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to grab a croc. Grab a croc there. I'm going to grab that. I think I grabbed 3. If I grabbed 4, sorry, I don't think I did. How many do I need to do this? I need to go 1. I can get on his back. Then he can throw me 1, 2, 3. Then I get on his back. So that's 1, 1, 2. Yeah, I actually don't need this one, so I'm discarding the orangutan. Okay, so I'm going to play my orangutans right here. I'm going to move him back, which is 1 movement point. Then I get on his back. I have 7 movements. I'm going to throw 1, 2, 3. It costs me 2, so that's a total of 3 movement points. Then I get on his back. Then I spend 2 more to go 1, 2, 3, and he throws me over there. So boom, the only time that you can't pick up while you're moving is when someone throws you, or you're on the back of an eagle's wings.
How long are you going to do that?
Do you want to go one more?
I think, yeah, we can do one more.
I actually started, so why don't you finish on your
there we go. Okay.
I mean, everyone knows I'm going to win this one, so it doesn't
that
really
might be
matter.
the case. All right, now I actually kind of need some more orangutans now that I'm going to be ending up over in this spot over here.
What was the sound?
I need to be able to have
What
1,
was the
2, 3,
orangutan
4,
sound?
5, and I've got that.
Oh my gosh, I'm a moron.
2.
What did I do? I didn't even take this one.
Ooh, that's
Oh
sad.
my gosh.
You're done. You're done, skis. You just threw yourself over that Yeah.
No, I mean, it's dumb. I could have done the same exact movement, picked that up, and still made it to here and got
Game over. Too late, can't go back. Just kidding. We totally, if we were playing just the two of us, we would have been able to
That's
go
the
back
way
and
we
do
do that.
That's how we roll.
For some reason, I thought that was his leaf, and I always play yellow, so I have no idea why I thought that was yours.
All right, I will take...
That's why I asked where you started.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, goodness, I don't know.
gosh.
I'm going to take that donkey over there.
When the lights are on, man.
Will you hand me that donkey?
I was about to hand you the disc. That doesn't make sense.
I will discard said donkey as my card that I discard. Now I'm going to play this rabbit.
If I would have taken that, I'd have a huge lead.
Which is 3, that's right. Which is 3, plus you get an additional 2 for however many you play. Well, not additional 2 no matter how many you play. So I get to go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop them off here. And discard down to 6 cards, which I've got 6 cards, so I'm good to go. This goes to the bottom. That's Fast Sloths. Art and components.
All right, Dean. Like you said, what about art and components? You want to start us off?
Yeah, I think the art and components, I really enjoy the components. I like these bigger wooden discs that have the stickers on there. Everything becomes very clear to just look at the board, look at the cards. Iconography is really well done on this. Mm-hmm. I think, some people aren't going to like this art style. I do. I think I think it looks pretty cool, especially for this style of game. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I like the art. I usually like pretty much all the art in Freedom and Freeze's games. I think they're all solid. This is good. Same thing. I've had some people complain about the board, saying it's kind of boring or whatever. I think it's fine. I mean, it doesn't blow my mind, but it's good.
It's clear. And sometimes I like clarity over, definition in artwork, because sometimes it can kind of muddy the board up.
Yeah, it's very clear. The cards are super clear. The iconography is very good in this game, I think. I like the leaves. I don't know if Dean mentioned those. You got your sloths. You got stickers on these nice things. I have no complaints. The only thing that someone could potentially you complain about anything you want.
Yeah,
the board is pretty big. It's a pretty large board.
It is.
I'm fine with it, I think, but also the box. You saw the box, I think, before, but I'll just show it again. That's a pretty large box. It's a Power Grid size box. Concordia, whatever size box.
Not the biggest fan of that.
Yeah. So, but besides that, it's all good. I'm very happy with those. So,
yeah.
But the gameplay, is it actually a fun game?
It is. There we go. That's our review of Fast Sloths.
If you're enjoying our channel, that's good.
Yes, it is a fun game. I enjoy this one. Now, we're looking at 2 players of this. I am. Mm-hmm. I've played this 2 players only, and I think this would be better at a higher player count. So you need to take with what I say with a little bit of a grain of salt, although the idea of the game still plays out the same. It's just you don't have as much interaction as you would with higher player counts.
We did hear a little bit.
You do,
would have,
yeah.
But you can almost go 2 totally different paths, and then people aren't using the animals that you're going to use. You're not using theirs, and there's not a lot of... It's completely an efficiency game at that point.
Yeah.
And there's not I'm going to take this just to mess up Dean or whatever. Which some people might like. I don't know.
Yeah. But this game is all about efficiency, which I think is fun. I think it's interesting. Now, John had mentioned at the beginning of the game, the way that we had set it up is that we, customized it, which at that point you have some planning ahead, which I think is really interesting, and I'm glad that that's in there. But even if you don't, if you're just this totally random board that's out there, and you just have to look, what do I have? Where am I located? What animals am I going to have to use? And that's going to give you an idea of the cards.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting to kind of figure out that puzzle of how to be most efficient moving through the board.
Well, because no matter what, you're going to pick where you're starting, what tree you start.
Right.
The last place player picks first. So that's their strategy in and of itself. But I do you take one disc at a time and you're placing these animals around. I love that because to me, that's G.I. Joe. That's half the battle. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it almost is setting things up in a 2-player game.
Joe?
Dude, I used to go through.
I'm just kidding.
My mom said I used to go through the house just G.I. Joe, American hero. Anyways, but yeah, in a 2-player game, I think it's almost essential because it adds the extra layer of thinkiness because you're not probably going to be manipulating other people's animals as much in the game.
Yeah. I like the cards too. Now we've played with these 6. Now these aren't the recommended 6 to start off with. Mm-hmm. Some of them are, but not all of them are. We just kind of mixed them up and we've tried that. I like that piece adds so much to the variability. Not only how am I going to get around this board? But how are these animals going to be most effective to do that? You know, the orangutans are throwing you through the trees, but they have to stay in these two types of terrain. They can't go here. But then you have these rabbits that can only move through those grasslands, you know? So you have to think through where they're going to be able to move and where you're going to have to use the other animals. And I love that. I love the ways that the animals play out in this game. And I think it's really thematic too, you know, how they do that. The elephants, we didn't play with those, but they can throw you, you know, a few spaces away. Thematic. And the giraffe can lean its neck over and drop you off or pick you up 2 spaces away, which that's interesting.
It's really thematic. I love that about it. I mean, what I was gonna say a second ago was that, like, look here, I'm hosed because he took this over here.
Yeah.
The orangutan can't get in this spot. The crocodile can't come to this spot. So I'm gonna have to
pull a rabbit,
pull a rabbit out of my hat, and move over here to take a whole move just to pick me up to go. I was gonna come up here and do that and finish the game if I would have actually picked up the leaf like I was supposed to, had it all planned out. But that's something that I think is interesting in how simple this is. But I've played this several times, and you make stupid mistakes in this game. I think we both have had times, even playing this together, where we've been like,
even in this game that we just played.
What did I just do? Like, you get so excited about, you know, some of the other leaves, you could miss that an animal's not in the spot that you were hoping they would, I don't know, that you envisioned, and you went, oh wait, shoot, the crocodile can't move down here. And then now you're like, you're host potentially, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's pretty fun.
Now, a negative with that can be that in games that we've played, you've kind of known, okay, there's a really good chance that I'm going to win this game. But I will say, okay, not this game, but the last one that we had played, I thought I had won the game for sure. You know, I was a couple leaves ahead. John just came a little bit from behind.
I was one move away from time.
You were ahead a lot of the game, and then I got ahead. But then he picked up 2 leaves at the end and won the game, even though I had it in my mind. But I think sometimes you can have an idea, okay, it's going to be really difficult for me to come back in this game because I'm just like, I don't have any animals around me, so I have to take an extra turn or two to get them towards me before I can actually even move.
Messing up a turn can lose the game for you.
Sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But positively, it has the catch-up mechanism on the board where you don't... I mean, at the end of the game, you're drawing 2 cards and discarding 1.
Right.
So that means it's super important. You can only hold 4 cards, too. It just means the decisions leading up to this are really important. Or you could get host where you're like, oh, why do I have 1 card in my hand or 2 cards in my hand? And it's going to take me so many turns to be able to finish and get this last leaf. I think that's great. I do agree with what Dean said. I mean, the first game he and I played, he was the runaway winner, and I was within... I got to where I was within 1 move of tying him, you know? And so you can absolutely come back.
You can, yeah.
But if someone's getting handled... I have played games where someone was getting handled early in the game, and it was basically like, yeah, there ain't much of a chance. But this is a short game.
Yeah, it is a very short game.
That's my last thing I wanted to mention.
We can play a 2-player game and not a lot of time. And even with more players, it shouldn't take too long because you have enough time to kind of think through your turns. Now, that might change because if you're close with somebody else and they take their turn and move some animals that you had hoped they wouldn't, that can change it up and may add some more thinky time. But often you'll be able to at least kind of think through the route that you're going to go.
That sounds like a dash. Some more thinky time?
More thinky time.
You need some more thinky
time. Need some more thinky time. But, yeah, you know, there's not a lot of luck to this game. There's not luck, right? Because everything is seen. You can see what the cards are. I guess the way other players play affect you, and that can, you know, you can have a negative experience from that. But if you're not playing efficient, it's your fault, right?
Yeah.
It's, you know, so I like that.
And because you can only move 1 animal, you can't just be mean. I mean, you can, but like you want to move your animal, so you can't just be like, I'm going to use a crocodile to move him over here to make Dean. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, maybe that would be the best move sometimes, you know, but probably
maybe not. If you're saving up cards, that
if you had a bunch of crocodiles and you knew Dean didn't, and you could just shoot it all the way across the board, then you could play like that. But
more often than not, you're worried about how you're going to move across the board, which I like that. I think that's good.
That's right. So before we do our final thoughts, I do want to mention the next holiday expansion. So Stronghold sent us the next holiday expansion, which is really awesome to go along with this. Now, if you have the base game, you have these 2 boards, and they can be flipped around, so you can have a total of 4 different styles or terrains or whatever. I'm going to just put this down here. I guess you can try to make that as straight as possible. With this is the base game. You've got 4. When you get the next holiday, all it is more boards. And so now you've gone from 4 to 16 different configurations. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, the negative, you may say, I want an expansion that gives, something new to the game. Like new strategy or a new animal. It doesn't come with that, but it's like $15. $15 to go from 4 to 16 different boards. That's big time. If you really like this game, I would pick up that.
And sometimes in games, just getting maps, it's just a map. It doesn't really change things that much.
It really matters in this game.
Totally does, because like in this one, there's a lot of water. You can't even get to these locations up here with some of the animals. The rabbits don't go across the bridges. The mules don't go across the bridges. So you have to think about other ways to get up there, but flip the board over and the water might not be as prevalent. You might be able to get to other places easier. So I think it's really interesting. It might be more mountains or whatever.
You might want the mountain goats, where you need more, or you don't need as many orangutans because orangutans can only go here and here.
Yeah. So that being said, I hope they do have expansions where they do add animals, because I think that would be cool.
But I like the expansion a lot because of that, actually.
Yeah, I do.
So final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Really pleasantly surprised in this one. I didn't have, I've heard a lot of buzz around this game, but I didn't really have the feels for this one. I wasn't super pumped.
He wasn't that excited about playing it.
I wasn't, which, is weird. It's not like I don't like racing games or anything. It just didn't grab me. Playing it, I was wrong. This is a really fun game. Yeah, I'd give this one an 8 which is
really high.
Really high for what it is. Like it's a racing game. It's fun. You can introduce this to a lot of different people. I think you can use this as an intro game. You can use this as a gateway game. However, it's engaging enough for people who really are deep into, more thinkier games, because there is a lot of strategy and thinking through your next moves. And I've really enjoyed my plays of this one. Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about what Dean says is if you play with gateway people, you can play with the simpler animals. Like there's some animals that are a little bit more complex. Nothing's really super complex, but you could play with basic ones like donkeys and rabbits and some of those that you're really not, doing a whole lot. Throw a couple in there that do something a little bit different. I like this game. I don't like it as much as Dean, though, actually.
Which is a surprise, because I thought you were going to like this one more.
Yeah, I do like this game. It's a fun, solid game. I like Pick Up and Deliver in general. Like it's pretty good, but Pick Up and Deliver is also not generally my favorite mechanism. So, I love the variability. There's 64 combinations on the animals because you have 6 different types of combinations. And with those, if you get the expansion, there's 16 different boards that you can play with. That matters a whole lot, because this game could get really samey, in my opinion. You only had the same animals. You only had a few different board things. But overall, I'm not just like jumping out of my seat about this game. I'm going to go 7, super solid 7. I almost want to give it a 7.5, so I'm going to say a super solid 7. Will this be in my collection? I don't know. If Dean likes it as an 8, I'd be happy to trade him, probably. Sure. Except for the fact that if my kids were into this could be one of those games that I really, as he said, I can play with Dean and we'll have a fun time. And 7 means I'm usually willing to play. That's a high score. I am. If he wants to play this, I'll play it most of the time. But if I had an extra factor, if my family enjoyed it and stuff, this could be a really good keeper for me. You know, so
I think the thing that bumped this up, because this was somewhere around like a 7.5, but the variability that you get from all the different animals and the different boards, especially with the expansion, there's a lot of replayability in this, which bumped it up to an 8 for me, because I could see myself getting a lot of plays of this one.
Yeah, and mine's a strong 7. It's really borderline 7.5 is close. So. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, so that is an 8 from me, a 7 from John on Fast Sloths. Tell people how they can get in touch with us.
All right, if you're enjoying our channel, we would love for you to subscribe. Click that little bell for notifications to know when we're coming out with new videos. We're at Meepletown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can go to meepletowngames.com to check out all of our stuff. And we're Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.